it's the taking of the killing of two people and saying they killed each other. It eliminates all problems. You don't have to have a trial. You don't have to have any investigation. No matter what the circumstances are, but they killed each other. Like the Glenn Young and the Ora Thomas killing. They killed each other. Well, probably not. But although we really don't know that much about that shootout, that there's a whole bunch of that event that night that has been concealed from us. We just don't know.
How many died that day?
Ma'am?
How many actually died that day?
On the 24th of January or the 13th of April? April 6th. Nobody in the garage but Smith was wounded. His son-in-law was not injured, and the other men that ran in there, because this if you know anything about truck springs or car springs, they're made of good steel. And he welded them into a big circular thing like this, and they could hide in there and not get shot. The cars inside the garage were all shot to pieces. They did a tremendous amount of damage. Yes, ma'am.
Is that garage building still?
No, ma'am. No, that's been replaced. It's been replaced with a modern building. Now, the old building had about from where this row is to the wall in front of it with a gas pump in front of it. And then double doors to let cars in to be prepared. And why that gas pump didn't explode, I don't know, but I can't imagine why it wasn't hit with the number of bullets they said they fired.
Of the 6, how many were from each side?
Well, the 3 wets were Noble Weaver from West Frankfort, whose funeral, by the way, was conducted by the American Legion, because Noble had been a hero in World War I, risen to the rank of sergeant. Was extremely popular man. Brave beyond praise. He was just an incredible man. He was the only one to get out of the car. Orb Treadway was from Arkansas. He was a gunman from Arkansas and a very, very close personal friend and business associate of Charlie Berger. Charlie and his attorney went to Arkansas with the body and arranged for its funeral over there. The third man is a really mysterious character, Charlie Briggs. That's not his real name, but that's how he's been brought to us down through time, as Charlie Briggs. He was also called Stone and Brown. You know, the cops never did find out who he was. And if you looked at that death certificate, you say he's about 35. He could have been 32, 38. We don't know how old he was. Say he was married. We don't have any idea who he was married to. And nobody was a witness to explain any of that when they buried him. He's buried here in Marion. He's buried up in the cemetery up there. I've looked for his grave. I can't find it. Yes, sir.
I've looked for Charlie Berger's grave for 15 years now, and I've got down to St. Louis, Missouri, but not the exact name of the cemetery. Did you find that for me?
Oh, sure. It's in a couple of books.
Is it
Yeah.
in the book?
Yeah. He was buried as Sasha Berger.
Sasha Isnick Berger.
Yeah.
Sasha Cemetery?
I went to it, I found that, and I got lucky. There was a couple of guys working in the garage there, like the ground workers, and I stopped and I had the book and it had his stone in there.
Uh-huh.
And I asked them, they're like, oh yeah, we get people in here all the time coming and asking about him. He was some gangster from Illinois. He took me right to it. And every time I go to St. Louis, I've been there a few times now.
Oh.
I'm just fascinated with it. So,
Well, I know when I speak to a crowd of people that are old residents of Williamson County, that I'm a stranger. I've only been here 20 years, which makes me hardly qualified. But I have never found more kind, generous, and wonderful people in my life anywhere. But this Southern Illinois is just fabulous. You have absolutely nothing to be, you know.
Rogers Jr. said that about people of Southern Illinois.
He
said
was a
they're the
perceptive
most
man.
He said they're the most wonderful people in the world, and they don't argue long. Just as your colleagues argue with you.
You don't get sideways to Southern Illinoisans, I'll tell you that. If you're smart, you don't. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned Davis Brother Garage.
Uh-huh.
What was the involvement with that?
They were the polling place.
Polling place.
Mhm.
Okay, there was Davis Brother Garage in Murfreesboro. Were they of
There
the
is
same?
Davis Bros Auto in the three places, three
Were they
towns.
related?
I would assume so back then. We've been compiling the list, 1923, 25 of businesses, and it had, in the directory, it has Davis Brothers Autos, and it gives the three towns.
Okay.
Probably Mercer. Is that what it is?
We bought
Yeah.
the property from them in Murfreesboro.
Oh, you did? Oh.
So I didn't know if they, but I could call. I know who they
They were at 800 something North Park, 808 or 820 or something North Park in Herrin.
Brian Furniture's in the store we're in now, that's the building, that's at about 300 bucks.
Well, we've been here for more than an hour, and that's more than I have any right to ask you to stay. So if there's more questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
I've got one.
You have one.
Charlie Berger, AKA Sasha,
Sasha.
was he of Russian lineage?
He was born in Latvia when it was part of Russia.
Okay.
Born in Lithuania.
Lithuania.
Okay, so was he basically a Southern Illinoisan, or did he come from someplace else as he was a man?
Well, he was raised as a child in St. Louis, then crossed the river and spent his early years in Staunton and Highland and other towns over there.
Harrisburg, Ledford.
Yeah. Then he went to Ledford, over by Harrisburg. And then moved up to Harrisburg and opened several places for horizontal recreation and liquid libations.
When they had the shootout at the Smith Broad, one thing always gets my attention, the church was across the street, but school was in session, wasn't it? And they had to try to get them out back there, or was that?
There was not a word in the press about children being involved, except the child in the mother's arms.
I thought they did a little break, and during that break, they sent them all out.
Yeah, there was a break.
They sent the kids back home, the back way, some
Yeah.
of the opposite lane, and then they had.
You know, we interviewed Charlie Spacey, he was in the 3rd or 4th grade, and he told us that the teachers had them all under the seats when they had the first shootings at the Smith Garage. I don't know about the one that was saved. That's the one that.
That was 24, August 24.
24. That's when he was in that school when they started shooting.
Yeah. But they shot also from the railroad track from the south. They shot on all four sides in that first shooting. 7 guys got killed in that one.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And being a teacher, that always bothers me. That's why it gets my attention all the time on that.
Wasn't there one of the cars was in the garage, the cars that got shot up, and then George?
That was the car that Jack Skelcher was killed in.
Yeah, and there was that.
I gave a talk on that. They have one of these here at the library. I gave one of these things on the killing of Jack Skelcher. Yes, ma'am.
Just about where Berger was buried, you know, they said that he always said to bury him in a Catholic cemetery, and they said, why would you want that? He said, because that's the last place the devil would look for a Jew.
Yeah, he did say that.
I went there, the first time I went there was Saturday, and they were closed, because they closed it on Saturday, so I had to go during the week.
Well, thank you very much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Nancy and I are transplants.
Well, yes, they were bigoted and they were violent, but they started out wanting law and order. That's what they wanted to have, is law and order.